So yesterday we were looking into into mindfulness. We look into mindfulness, and also we look into the area of daily activities. At least not too bad. During lunchtime, at least it's slower. Not too bad. Beginning of this Vipassana, as I said, Vipassana retreat is always make sure that we develop the right thing. Mindfulness. Not concentration. Not over focus. Not too tense up. Some people come into this Vipassana retreat. If you are not guided what to do, first thing the yogis will do is that they come in and then they want to totally focus the mind onto whatever that they are doing. And sometimes, and a lot of times, not sometimes, a lot of times when they do that, they overstrain, they overexert their meditation until they end up with all kinds of tension and all kinds of wrong progress. So without that mindfulness, this Vipassana doesn't have its foundation. But Vipassana does not depend on mindfulness alone. Vipassana needs another level of development, and that is what we call the area of wisdom. The area of wisdom, or in the way of what we are doing over here, the wisdom that comes in as the mind that is able to discern or distinguish the objects that you are observing, that you are noting. That means it has to thrash out, they have to thorough, precise onto the nature of the object. Thorough, not thorough, sorry. Thorough for British. Thorough on the object that you are supposed to notice. So when you're precise and you're able to discern the nature of the object, then it goes into the direction of Vipassana. You do other form of meditation, it does not go into that way. You do metta meditation, you do compassion meditation, you do contemplation on death, it does not go into that way. This is the area specialized for Vipassana, and it needs the foundation of mindfulness for it to able to discern the objects clearly and carefully. You've been doing it. You've been exercising it, especially when you slow down, walking meditation especially. When you slow down and you begin to pay more thorough attention on your objects, that is the movement of the feet, or the sensation, or begin to notice the hardness, the softness, the warmness, the pressure, the movement, and all these things, you begin to notice them. That means you begin to exercise that area of wisdom. This area of wisdom in the text, in the Buddhist text, it also use it as the word is clear comprehension. To clearly comprehend the object that you are noticing at that present moment. The Pali word is sampajanya. The Pali word is sampajanya. And the word sampajanya has a good meaning actually, if you understand the Pali word. The word, there are two words combined together. The word is sam and pajanati. And Of course, when they combine it, a little bit different here and there, due to the way of how combination. But anyway, there are two words are being combined. The word pajanati means to observe, to see. And the word sam over here is to intensify the seeing. That's why in the Pali word, it has a better meaning in what actually that you are doing. It intensifies the knowing, intensify the seeing. Is what we do over here. We heighten up the awareness to pay attention to the nature as they are. So the word clear comprehension is a significant part of the development of vipassana meditation. And we need to use that clear comprehension that the mind can distinguish objects into all phenomena that we are paying attention to. That is to say, whether it is the body phenomena or bodily objects, or even the feelings, or even the different states of mind, then we have to exercise that mindfulness and clear comprehension onto all these objects. Then the truth will reveal to you. Slowly and slowly, the ignorance becomes less. Then the truth will begin to surface more and more and more and more for you to see. Yeah. Then all the truth is already here. And the Buddha says that we all been covered by this ignorance. And this ignorance, hard for us to break its shell. So in order for us to break the shell, this is where we make the effort to arouse that mindfulness, to distinguish, to see the true nature of things as they are. Now, as I said, you've been doing it in your walking meditation, which is good. Yeah, you begin to exercise on that area. On the sitting meditation, well, you try, I know, but 80% of your time or 90% of your time is just blur. Do not know what you are doing also. Get up, the time's up. When you're walking, at least you know what you're doing. Yeah. Sometimes sitting is just mind is just neither here nor there. Half of it is thinking, half of it is drowsy. Maybe 10% you're just noticing something. Yeah, for most of us, for the first 2 or 3 days. Yeah. This is just, again, here is still an adjustment period. Sometimes it takes yogis a few days just to adjust the way of to develop something from the sitting meditation. Now, in a sitting meditation, if you are clear and alert, this is where you have to distinguish the objects that you pay attention to. For example, if you start off with this rising and falling, make sure you pay attention to it thoroughly. Long, short, you put the label there, not just only mindful, not only presently you are there, but you're able to distinguish whether the movement is going far, going long, going short, going fast, going slow, blur, become clear, or it becomes, sometimes it becomes stretching, pulling, whatever that is going on with this movement of rising and falling. As simple as those things, it's so difficult for a lot of yogis to do it. Yeah. Sounds easy, but we put the mind there, nothing much. One of the reasons we cannot do it, because one thing, the mind is not alert, the mindfulness is not strong, the mind is not continuously having this mindfulness, having this high alertness. If you don't have that continuity, this rising and falling is going to be difficult. Although it is just right under our nose, literally, But it's so difficult for us to notice. It's really, you are not clear. Yeah, because the mind is not developed. Two, because perhaps we are not familiar with the object as a meditation object. Yeah. Some of us may be familiar with other form of meditation object. For example, some of you may be familiar with the in-breath, out-breath object. Yeah. Some of you may be familiar with more of a sensation of the body, different parts of the sensation of the body. Yeah. But you're not familiar with a moving object when you're sitting down, when you're noticing what is going on, if it is rising and falling. Yeah. So it's always good that when we are starting with this way of meditation, it's good to put all your previous form of meditation aside. You put them aside, you just follow the instruction over here, right? Then finally we come back to the body to truly notice the sensation, to truly notice the movement of the stomach, noticing the other sensation when they are prominent. Yeah. So make sure that when we notice any object in the sitting, try to pay attention to it as clearly as you can. Again, like for example, if you sit there, the numbness come up, or the pain in the buttock or pain in the knees come up. Here your job is to make sure to notice the pain because they are prominent right now. They are the most prominent object right now. And when you pay attention to the pain, notice how the pain is. Notice the type of pain first. Yeah. Is it kind of like a pulling pain, sometimes a heart pain, sometimes a numbing pain, for us to at least differentiate one pain to another. Then when at the same time, notice how it grows. See what is happening to the pain, whether it's getting stronger, getting weaker, getting more, getting less. That is where you exercise your discernment. Yeah, you exercise your discernment. You begin to notice whether it's getting more, getting less. It change from one pain to another pain. Sometimes as if like it's moving from one side of your leg, moving to another side. One side of the leg, it moves to the body or it changes. Then you can distinguish them out clearly. Perhaps in other retreats you are meditating, but when it comes to pain, you just know and accept the pain only, which is good. At least you're not angry about it. At least that's good, but it's not good enough. You are in the border of vipassana, but you are not really enter into vipassana. All you need to do is that extra effort to distinguish what is going on with the pain. Yeah? So some of us in the other form of meditation, you come to a stage where you're able to accept the pain. You're able to notice the sensation. You're able to feel sensation. You're able to feel different body sensation, itchiness, and so on. Well and good. But over here, what I want you to do is the extra one is to able to distinguish them further. See how that you put your attention there, you notice what is doing there. Is it getting more? Is it getting less? Is it changing from one object to another? Yeah. So, all these things I want to know. Yeah. I want to know if you come in to the interview room, you just, I notice itchiness. I'm not going to let you go if you just report like that. Although it's good, at least you able to withstand it. I want you to report what happened to the itchiness. Is it getting more, getting less? Are you getting angry about it? Are you getting your patience begin very thin? What happened to your noticing? What did you notice over there? Yeah. All these things, that means you are exercising a little bit more discernment of your objects. Yeah. Discernment on the objects also. you can extend it to our daily activities too, not just only walking or sitting. Yeah. In a walking, it's not easy for us to discern carefully, especially when you're doing a little bit faster, like in a one-phase walking meditation. One-phase walking meditation is more like you're arousing a mindfulness. And also at the same time, you also help to relax the body after getting up from sitting meditation. Yeah? You get up from sitting meditation, we don't want your body to be too stressed out because we still got another still another sitting and after an hour or so. Yeah? So you get up, you do your walking, you do your one phase, yeah, you take your one phase, right step, left step. If you want to go to the toilet, to a washroom, then you go there, be mindful of whatever that you're doing, come back with the right step, left step, right step, left step, take your time, come in here. That means while we are doing this one phase, we are already building up, re-arousing the mindfulness again. At the same time, we relax the body. And we relax the body. After that, when you come in here, more or less, you're quite ready for the two phase. Then you start again with the lifting, dropping. Then after that, if you find that your mind is calm, peaceful, then you can start off with the third phase, lifting, pushing, dropping, and you begin to distinguish what is really going on the third phase. Yeah. So this is how we build up the walking meditation. We don't stress the body. We want the body to be relaxed. At the same time, we want to develop this meditation. Yeah. Don't be too overzealous, in this meditation, because sometimes some people, you disregard this first phase, you straight away you want to go up with lifting, pushing, dropping for 1 hour. Yes, you can do it for 1 or 2 walkings. Just, you see, if you do like that within that 2 or 3 days, something like that, you're going to end up with all kinds of stress, all kinds of tension, because you do not know how to relax it, relax the body. Yeah. So this walking meditation, it needs some degree of relaxation, and yet at the same time, it needs that clear comprehension power. It needs that distinguishing power. So don't underestimate this 1 phase or 2 phase or 3 phase. Yeah? Now, in the daily activities, also it's good that every now and then, if you can, you make a little bit more than just mindfulness. Try to notice whether, take for example, in the eating. You don't have to do it every morsel of scoop of rice that it goes into your mouth. If you can do like 50% of the time, it's good enough. Say for example, yesterday you are taught to be mindful. At least you know you're chewing, biting, swallowing. And then you don't let the mind run. Your mind runs, then you bring it back again, then you chew. Okay, good. Now, tomorrow, you try and see whether you can able to notice the chewing, and you notice how the movement is going on. Just let the mouth and the tongue do its work. You are the observer, as if like you're sitting there, as if like you're sitting at the back there, and then you just let it observe. If you want to close the eyes for a while, just close the eyes for a while and just feel the sensation as it moves around in the distance. You feel that sometimes you feel the saltiness, you can feel some spiciness, you can feel something hot, you can feel something cold, you can feel how the movement of the food is going around in in the mouth area, and you see how the tongue is moving until the signal comes in for you to swallow. Then you let it swallow on its own, and you see the whole process and it takes place. It's going to take you a bit more time. That means you're going to sit there for a longer period of time during lunch or breakfast. But it's good. You really begin to have more to exercise the mind into noticing how we eat. And all the time when we eat out there, we just eat for whatever reasons that we eat. Here we eat and we want to be mindful just to get enough energy for our practice. So make sure that we pay attention to all these things. Then if you notice those things, then it's good. Even like you want to stretch your hands taking a cup. That too, take your time. Just once or two times. If you want to reach out your hands on your palm or fingers to hold the cup, then slowly reach out and you learn to feel the sensation, and then as you touch, you feel whether it's a bit warm, a bit cold, a bit pressure, then slowly bring it in. You need to have patience, and you need to have a lot. A lot of us, we don't have that much patience, but patience also can be cultivated. It's not something you're born with, It's something that can be cultivated. This is the time. This is the time for us to cultivate that patience. So too together with that mindfulness. So just bear up, be patient to notice the sensation that is moving. We want to rush in our life all the time. It's just that you have to make the effort to slow down. Again, if you notice that you're rushing, again, remind yourself, slow down, slow down. After all, where are we going? Where are we going? We're going nowhere. We're just in the temple. Either here, or the dining hall, or in the room, then back again. All these few places only, and that's all. So, learn to relax, learn to be free, learn to be, to calm down, and then all this condition, it helps you to slow down, and as you build up the condition, then the mind can able to notice things a little bit better. So this is that one area of discerning a different objects, different the characteristics of those objects, the nature of those objects. Another area of discernment that we have to exercise is to able to notice the intention and its follow through. The intention and its follow through. We notice this intention during in the walking. Before we start the walking meditation, as I said, you notice intention to walk. Then you start right step, left step, or lifting, pushing, dropping. If you do that often enough, then it's good, because the moment you notice this intention, usually the follow through you'll be mindful of it. You'll be mindful of it, which is good. So if you can, sometimes if you want, in a turning, once in a while, if you want to notice an intention, notice the intention, and then after that you slowly follow through. If you're not comfortable with it, it's still okay. But if you want to try, after all, you have a number of walking meditation, after all, you have a number of turnings that you're going to do, so might as well try here and there. No, not every turning, but every now and then you try and see, notice an intention a few times, then only you start turning the body. Yeah? Also, it's good. Again, here you can extend the intention into other parts or other areas of our meditation too. Say, for example, you're in a dining hall again. You want to sit down, you want to get up from the chair. Now, before you want to sit down, you can notice the intention to sit, intention to sit. Then only slowly bring the body down to the chair. Yeah. The moment if you notice that intention on the to sit, the moment you notice that intention, you see immediately the mind will follow through noticing the movement. It's good because if you're able to do that, that means it keeps the mindfulness a little bit longer. Yeah? It keeps the mindfulness a bit longer or a little bit more continuous. And you do that often enough, it will be very good for you. Yeah? So in other words, even the sitting down, getting up, if you want to get up from this chair, be mindful of it, notice the intention first, then only we slowly lift up the body. Yeah. So too, like we are here, getting up from the sitting here, you want to sit down, and then you walk from your place, let's say you walk from your walking meditation, then when you come to your sitting, stand there first, take notice of the intention to sit, then only you slowly go, bring down the body. Then it helps to bring to make the continuity from the walking, that you accumulate all the clarity, and after an hour, then you hold that clarity together with the intention, you bring it down to the sitting, then you see that the sitting, at least in the beginning part of the sitting, it's quite clear because of the development from the walking. Now, if you, from that development of the walking, then in between, and you are not mindful, let's say, you are not mindful, and then you do all kinds of other things, then you sit down, and then that is where you have to heat up the mind again, reheat the mind again, then only some mindfulness comes in. That is slow down the progress. Then sometimes people have to sit like 2 hours, 3 hours to gain some momentum. You can sit 2 hours, but the quality of the sitting, you have to wait until like 1 hour later, then only momentum comes in. Here, the way that I've mentioned is that when you walk from the walking, build it up. The moment that you sit down, then the clarity has started. You don't have to wait until half an hour or 1 hour later. Immediately sit down, there's already some clarity there. This is what I want yogis to develop. Yeah? That from the walking, you come to the sitting, then your mind is already alert. It may not be that easy yet in the beginning of a retreat or the first 2 or 3 days, but eventually, perhaps you could do that after a number of days. So take note of that intention. Yeah? It's a very crucial aspect of it. And also, since talking about walking and sitting down, one of the tips that usually we do is, if you're walking, going to sitting, try not to go to the washroom or to the toilet. If you can hold for another hour, do so. If you cannot, by all means go. I don't want you to have any problem. But if you cannot, but if you can do that, if you can do that, then if you can hold for 2 hours, you go in the beginning of your walking, go to the washroom, do whatever you need to do, drink water. Then after that, you have 1 hour, and then you finish that hour of walking, then you start slowly go down into the sitting. Then it will be very good. Yeah. Sometimes you go to the loo and you come back again, kind of like everything is being flushed inside there. All your mindfulness just go. Because you're not mindful. So if you can, try it. If you can, that would be good for you. Yeah. If you cannot, then please don't do that. Sometimes as you get older, the bladder is not that big anymore. All right. So this is an area. Now, when we do intention, when we exercise this labeling of intention, the principle is that when you change from one posture to another posture. Posture means there is you have a standing posture, you have a walking posture, you have a sitting posture, you have a lying down posture. 4 major postures that we have. So when you change from one posture to another, for example, from a standing to walking, that is where you exercise intention. Also, like when you are going to sit down on the chair or sit down on your cushion, you're changing from a standing to sitting. Then again, you notice the intention. You're from a sitting to get up, you notice the intention. Also, like when you are in your room, it will be good that also in your room, a lot of times we forget the moment that we step into the room. Yeah? Nobody see us. Kind of like, what a day, just you want to rest for a while. And then you get up and then you go out of the room, then you become a yogi again. No, in your room also you have got to be the yogi too. You got to be mindful too. Yeah. And you want to lie down. You want to lie down, you want to get up from your lying posture into a sitting posture. Again here, take note of your intention. Slowly you get up. Slowly you go to your toilet, washing and all that, whatever you want to notice. Every small little thing, as I said, they are very helpful. Initially, when you notice this intention, as I said yesterday or the day before, it may feel a bit superficial. You feel a bit superficial because truly you may not able to notice the consciousness that's supposed to come with the labeling of the intention. Initially, it's not easy to notice that consciousness is quite not so dominant. All you need to do is to make sure you have a labeling. At least you label first. Then you will notice that it can be very helpful to help you to slow down or help you to be more precise and more thorough in your noticing as it follows through the next activity. There are also minor intentions. Minor intention where you don't change from one posture to another posture. But here, for example, like every lifting, pushing, dropping, there's also intention there. Sometimes some yogis who are more familiar with this practice, once in a while they also exercise like before they're lifting, They notice an intention before lifting. That means intention to lift, then only lifting. Yeah? Intention to push, then only comes with a pushing. Intention to drop, it comes with a dropping. Now this one it's like when you are moving, or when you are moving, you also able to notice the intention are also involved also. But this one, you need a bit more progress, and you need a bit more familiarity with the walking meditation. Now, if you want to do it, you can try a few times, like a few steps. Don't do it for every step yet. Not yet, at least not on your level yet. If some people, yes, perhaps. If you are not in that level and you want to try every step, every lifting, every pushing, every dropping, and you count by how many steps you are doing, and count by the how many walking that you are doing, and how many days you're going to do, you're going to end up with a lot of tension. Actually, it's very powerful in the beginning, but if you do it too much, your mind just cannot take it. Until you come to a level that it comes naturally. Even you don't want to look for it, it will show it to you. That means it comes naturally at that time. Yeah, you will see the intention, you see the mind arises first, then only the movement take place. Yeah? Not only you see one intention, you see a lot of intention in between. For example, like when you want to stretch your hands to take the cup, you're going to see a lot of intention in between, together with the movement, intention, movement, intention, movement, intention, movement. In other words, mind, body, mind, body, mind, body, mind, body, mind, body. All these are all totally integrated together. The mind and the body is so much more, so closely integrated together. It begins to reveal its truth. Slowly and slowly, it begins to reveal its truth to show you how just by a stretching of an arm, there are so many things are involved, and you are actually able to notice it for yourself. That is where the truth slowly begin to reveal to you. And that time when your mind is able to notice all these things, the idea of an external being or external God or external beings that is controlling our movements or controlling our actions and all that thing, at that moment of time, the idea is being removed. It removed and is far away. Because at that moment of time, your mind is perfectly concentrated, having a deep mindfulness. The mind is able to penetrate what is going on, and now the object is showing you its nature. So the idea of something that is controlling, external beings or soul that is controlling and so on, that automatically is being removed, at least abandoned for a while. Yeah? So it begins to show you the truth of what actually is happening with this mind and body. It will take its time. It will show you even more. Yeah? In your own understanding, your own capacity, it will show it to you. So, by discerning, by able to exercise this discerning, the power of this discernment, you are able to actually notice a lot of things. Countless truth is going to arise just if you exercise it correctly. So this area of discernment, of noticing the intention and the follow through, these are the very important aspect in our development. Now, another area that we also have to exercise the discernment is to discern whether our actions or speech, whether they are suitable for the meditation or they are not suitable for meditation. It means suitable for whether they are suitable for the condition there or situation, or they are not suitable for it. Yeah? Here, we have to exercise a certain degree of, in a way, externally it looks like discipline, but internally it's actually discerning whether it's helpful for your meditation or not. Yeah? The simple example is this. You do your walking meditation. Yeah? While you're doing your walking meditation, walk, and then half an hour later, you get bored. Like what you have over here. Some of you, or many of you, get bored with the walking. Then what do you do with the walking after you get bored? Then maybe go and drink water. Or maybe go to the toilet. Or maybe just go out and just take the sun. You know? Actions. Then here, in the Vipassana meditation, we have to discern whether that action is suitable for you or not. As simple as just drinking the water may not suitable at times, but it could be suitable in other times. Let's say you're walking. You're walking. You get bored. You just want to go and take a sip of water. Because after all, walk left and right, lifting, pushing, dropping, same old thing again and again. You get bored. So you just go and take a sip of water. So what's the harm of it? After all, it's just drinking water. But this is begin to develop a bad habit. Begin to slowly to develop a bad habit. Next time, when boredom comes in, you're not going to make an effort to notice things a bit more to overcome the boredom. But the mind will always start to thinking of, hey, take a sip of water. Go and drink. Just go out. And just take some breather and then come in again and walk. We don't see the harm in it. We don't see, after all, this. We are not lying. We are not killing. We are not doing any wrong things. Yeah, yes, you don't do any wrong things in your level, but in your vipassana level, here you're going to begin to develop that small little bad habit. If this hall, let's say this hall, will be next to your dorm, then if you're sleepy, you walk, you're sleepy, then what do you think you will do? You just walk, right step, left step, right step, left step, and it can turn on its own and directly into the room and right in front of your bed. And that's it. In other places that I teach, sometimes they don't have the luxury of a hall here where you have a walking place and you have a sitting area. They have a very limited area of walking. They actually have to walk beside their bed. Because that's the only path that they have, and the bed is there. And they got to be super disciplined, because anytime that you get bored or you get tired, the bed will start talking to you. Come. Just come, sit down. Why you want to work so hard? And that's it. After that, you don't going to make any more effort. Just go to rest. And you think it's okay to do that. So here, we are, in a way, it's good that you are far away from all these things. But in other retreat centers, they are not in that way. Yeah? Not in this way that supposed to be. Yeah? Some people, I've met with them, although the room is far away, they get tired. What they do is that they go to a corner, they pile up the cushion and make a bed there. And I've seen that too. So, here, when we are doing walking meditation, the temptation of making a drink, going to a toilet, just to overcome our boredom and so on, that actually you have to override them. Other words, when you are bored, other words, things are not going well, what you can do is, like, for example, try to change your pace to maybe a bit faster or a bit slower. Sometimes with a change of pace, then it will help you to change the momentum, and when the mindfulness starts arising again, all this desire just disappear. Now, if that desire comes in the middle of the walking or in the middle of the sitting, you have to take note of that desire and don't follow that desire or whatever that you want to do. When it's walking, it's only walking and not other thing. You want to do like drinking, toilet, you do it before or you do it after, but not in between. In between is always you have to, whatever happen, stay on your lane. Keep the mindfulness there. Try your best. When you get bored, don't run away. Just try your best to re-arouse the energy again, because that trying will be very helpful for you, because you're going to encounter boredom again and again and again and again, and you have skills to overcome them. Just because you try here and there with trial and error and you get it right, next time when boredom comes in, you know the skill, you know what to do, then with that you overcome the boredom. Instead of just take a simple break out of that walking, out from that walking meditation. When you sit too, the same thing. When you sit, you try the whole hour to sit as best as you can. Not like getting up if you cannot help it, yes, of course, but you have to try to push your body, to push the meditation as long as you can until you truly cannot. This is how we exercise the suitability of our action. So a lot of times in the beginning for a yogi, you have to have that to check yourself. Is it necessary for me to do that or not? Even like, for example, you want to check your phone. You ask yourself, is it necessary for me to check on them? It's always good that sometimes we forget to be, like the Americans say, off-grid. Off-grid. That means you disconnect yourself with all these things. And then just be here. Forget about the world out there or the family. They can handle things themselves. Without you, the world also keeps spinning, So don't worry about it. Just stay here and And if the desire want to look at the phone or whatever, then this is where you have to exercise your discipline. Put it aside. You want to read something, the desire there, put it aside. All these things which are not necessary while you are in the retreat. All these things. So in other words, there are a lot of things, especially for beginners. Those things you have to check. Is it necessary for me to do or not? And not necessary, then put it aside. Now, even there are things which are wholesome. Not helpful, but wholesome. Sometimes things are wholesome, may not be necessarily good for or beneficial for the retreat. Now, let's say some people, they come in because they know how to do chanting, right? And a lot of you are like pro chanters, like even better than the monks and nuns, which is good. You have the ability, wonderful. But when you come to a retreat, you want to do an hour or 2 hours of chanting. Then you ask yourself, is this action helpful for the development or not? Usually it is not helpful. It is helpful maybe if you just do a 10 minutes or 5 minutes, okay. But if you do longer than that, your mind starts to begin to distract yourself. Although they are wholesome, but they are not helpful. Or sometimes some people with a lot of faith, for example, they love to offer things. And they like to offer, for example, I've seen people like every now and then they will, take something to offer to the Buddha. It's like, for example, they put a plate of flowers, then they offer, and whatever offer they have, whatever is going on with their mind, they find it happy, joyful to do that. If it's something wholesome, but that too, you got to be careful, because it's not just the offering, but you have to go and look for the flowers. You got to go around to the temple and cut and do and whatever necessary for you to come and offer and so on. And if you do that every day or every day, morning, afternoon, evening, then it can become a problem. That means you are neglecting the meditation. So all this chanting, all these wholesome things and so on, you put it aside as much as possible. Even like servicing, for example, here of course we need to do a little bit of duty here and there. Fine. I'm not sure whether they cut down on duties or not. Because the past few years, they gave too many duties to the yogis. Which is, in a way, it's kind of like, we help to service the place that we use. Fine, but I find it that for Vipassana yogi, it become too much. Just enough to clean the place. All of the place is relatively clean, then well and good. It creates a conducive place for meditation. Fine. But there are places that yogis or meditators, they have to do sweeping, they have to do maintenance, they have to do a lot of things except meditation. Service to the temple, service to the place that you are staying. There's no such thing as free lunch. You have to pay it one way or another. So when you have this so much service to do, contributing to the temple, but when you come back and meditate, your whole body is tired. Your mind is distracted. Your mind is not clear, and you want to meditate and you want to do like what we are doing right now. Most of the time, you'll be sleepy. You'll be tired. So it's not so helpful. When you're in the retreat, especially when you are retreat. We usually, for us in this tradition, we ask you to not to do all kinds of activity as much as possible. Although they are wholesome, although they are good for the temple, but it's not good for the yogis. Yeah? So you have to remind yourself again and again, all these activities, wholesome, all this phone and all this reading and everything, you have to put everything aside. Again and again, you have to ask yourself, will this be beneficial for my progress? Will this be beneficial for my practice? Even a small little thing. Until you come to a time when you are begin to be more progressive in the meditation, and you get the hang of the meditation retreats that what we are doing over here, you come to a time that the thinking about drinking halfway while we are walking, it doesn't come up, or it rarely comes up. It comes to a time where you walk, lifting, pushing, dropping, and the bed beside you. It comes to a time until you're able to ignore everything, even it start calling you. You can able to still do it. Even it comes to a time where you feel that you want to do a lot of things, that your mind able to overcome them, or this type of thoughts does not arise that often anymore. Until your mind can be away from all these things and just do the walking, do the sitting, and just do what is really necessary for the yogis, for yourself. Then that time you'll see the mind is so much more settled. So much more settled. And with that, you can actually meditate better. When you finish this retreat, you finished a retreat, you want to contribute back to the temple, you want to do whatever necessary, then by all means, go ahead, because you are not in a meditation retreat. If you those love to do service, please come back again. They will love any help you can give, but not during in the retreat. So you must know your time, you must know your situation, when to exercise certain thing and when to pull it back, just so that you can able to stay with your meditation proper. All right. So we stop here for tonight, and we'll continue on this discernment and continue on this wisdom, clear comprehension tomorrow night. Okay, stop here.